Today, I'm going to show you how to turn ADHD into a superpower. Yes, we're going to start with some inspirational stories. These stories are for every person out there who's ever been told they're too distracted, too scattered, or not focused enough. It's about big picture thinkers, visionaries, people who may not always see the details, but see something more valuable. And you know what that is? Possibility. Let's start with Alex's story. And maybe this is your story too. Growing up, Alex was the kid who never finished his homework, but had wild, brilliant answers in class. Alex was the one whose notebooks were full of doodles and ideas, but never the actual assignment. Alex was the one who asked, "Why are we learning this? Why don't we just memorize it?" Teachers, they often called Alex bright, extremely intelligent, but unfocused. Alex heard phrases like, "Alex, only if you'd just apply yourself, you'd go farther. Alex, you need to pay more attention. Alex, you're capable, but you're too distracted." What nobody realized was this: Alex was paying attention, but not in the way they expected. While everyone else was focusing on the current paragraph, Alex was thinking about the chapter ahead. While others solved math problems, Alex wondered how cities were designed, how systems connected, how problems overlapped. You see, Alex saw patterns, relationships, possibilities, the bigger picture. That wasn't a flaw. It was brilliance, after all. But then, back then, it felt like a failure to him. By the time Alex entered adulthood, the world felt rigid, linear, step by step, rules and routines. Jobs came and went for Alex. He started excited, full of energy and ideas, but eventually hit walls of boredom or structure that felt almost suffocating. Why can't I just stick with something, he'd think to himself. He didn't realize that he wasn't broken. He just hadn't found an environment where his vision was valued. But then one day, everything changed for Alex. Alex was asked to join a creative brainstorming session at a tech company, not for a job, just as a favor to a friend. While others tossed about incremental ideas, Alex started connecting dots where nobody else saw, linking market trends to education gaps, tying user frustrations to product flow, reimagining the entire platform from a user's emotional journey. How about that? The room went quiet. And then guess what? It was followed by massive applause. Somebody said, "Hey, that's exactly what we've been trying to say all along. And you just nailed it, buddy." That day, Alex didn't just contribute. He found his zone of genius. Here's what Alex and many with ADHD have in common: nonlinear thinking. Their minds jump from A to G to Z and then back to B. It's not confusion, it's connection. In fact, that's innovation. They want to know why. It's almost like curiosity without borders. Not just what. And you know what? That's what makes them dig deeper, think broader, and dream bolder. You see, it's hyperassociation. They see how things relate across disciplines: music and math, psychology and design, humanity and data. They're natural strategists. Give them a messy problem and they'll sketch a master plan, while others tweak details. The ones with ADHD build vision. That's the big picture mind. That, my friends, is the ADHD gift. And Alex, he started to realize maybe he wasn't meant to color inside the lines. Maybe he was meant to draw new ones. And you know what? Alex leaned right into it. He started working with startups, not to execute tasks, but to shape direction. He wasn't the best at calendars or spreadsheets, but when a founder said, "Hey, we're stuck," Alex, he somehow found a way through. He began calling himself a creative strategist, someone who maps the future, not the process. And you know what? The more that Alex embraced that identity, the more everyone clicked. Alex didn't fight his ADHD anymore. He partnered with it. He used whiteboards to map complex ideas quickly. He recorded voice notes while walking to capture spontaneous thoughts. Alex worked in short, focused sprints, and then he decided to take a break. Alex surrounded himself with detail-oriented teammates while he stayed zoomed out. Now, together, they built things that worked and mattered. A perfect combination. So, Alex's story, it's a reminder to you. Let this stick. ADHD doesn't make you less. It just makes you different. And different is where the future lies. Think about it. You may not thrive in a box, but you might just design the next blueprint for it. And here's to the visionaries, the ones who see what isn't real yet, the ones who dream beyond the checklist, the ones who think big and even feel bigger. If you're wired to see the big picture, don't shrink to fit the frame. In fact, paint your own. Your mind isn't a problem to fix. It's actually a superpower to unleash. Now, let's move on to our next story. This one is about Josh and how Josh went from spiraling in self-doubt to building a life of impact, confidence, and purpose, all because he embraced the way that he was wired. Now, this isn't a story about staying down. It's about rising. It's about rising when the world even tells you you're not meant for success. Let's talk about how Josh went from spiraling in self-doubt to building a life of impact, confidence, and purpose, all because, again, Josh embraced the way that he was wired. Josh, he was always an energetic kid. His teachers used phrases like, "Josh is restless, easily distracted, and has trouble focusing." What they didn't see was his imagination, his curiosity, his heart. At 10 years old, Josh was diagnosed with ADHD. For his parents, it was a relief. Finally, they had a reason for his struggles. But for Josh, it felt like a label, like something was wrong with him. He'd hear adults whisper, "You know, Josh is smart, but..." There was always a but. Josh's homework was a battle. Sitting felt like it was impossible. He just had to move. While other kids thrived with routine, Josh felt like he was always sort of behind, no matter how hard he tried. But by the time he reached college, Josh was determined to turn his life around, turn all of these things around. Yet, structure was still his worst enemy. Long lectures, dense textbooks, late night cramming never ever worked for his brain. First semester, academic probation. Second year, dropped out. He tried again, a different college, new environment. Unfortunately, the same outcome. 2 schools, 2 attempts, 2 crushing failures. And worse than the grades was the voice in his head saying, "You'll never make it. You're just too lazy. Everyone else is figuring it out. Why can't you?" Josh watched his friends graduate, get jobs, start their lives, and Josh, he was sleeping on his brother's couch, scrolling through job boards he wasn't qualified for, wondering if maybe the world just wasn't built for somebody like him. Everything changed with a conversation. Not a big event, just a moment. And here's how it happened. Josh had coffee with an old teacher of his, one of the few who actually saw potential in him. And she said, "You know, Josh, you may think that you're broken because the system didn't work for you, but maybe the system, in fact, isn't designed for the way you think. And perhaps that's your gift." You know what? That line that she said, it hit him like lightning. For the first time, Josh didn't feel ashamed anymore. In fact, he felt curious. What if his ADHD brain wasn't broken, just different? Josh started researching, watching videos, reading books about neurodivergence, productivity hacks for ADHD, and stories of people just like him. He didn't need to fix himself. He just needed to work with his brain, not against it. So Josh leaned into his strengths: creativity, idea generation, passion, energy. He took a course on digital marketing, full of hands-on projects and flexible pacing, and he thrived. He didn't memorize anything. He created, he explored. Then Josh freelanced. He started helping small businesses with branding and copy. Within 2 years, Josh built a 6-figure agency from scratch. He then hired a team, delegated what drained him, and focused on what lit him: strategy, storytelling, building a big picture campaign. He set up alarms and timers, used whiteboards to map ideas, and worked in short bursts with long breaks, ADHD style. And most importantly, he stopped trying to fit in. Josh designed a life around him how he was wired, not on how others expected him to be. Today, Josh speaks to students and adults with ADHD, reminding them, hey, your brain might be a little chaotic, but inside that chaos could in fact be creativity, resilience, and power. You're not less. You're wired for innovation, folks. You just need tools. No shame. Josh didn't succeed in spite of his ADHD. He succeeded because he embraced it. And if you're listening right now, feeling lost, behind, labeled, overlooked, let Josh's story remind you that you are not broken. You are not a failure. In fact, you are just becoming. And once you stop trying to be normal, you can finally become something unforgettable. Now, finally, let's talk about Maya's story, our last story. Maya was a teacher who struggled to plan lessons, lost track of time, and almost quit. She discovered mindfulness and then built a daily structure, and now she's mentoring other teachers. Maya always knew that she wanted to teach, even as a child. She lined up her little stuffed animals and handed out imaginary homework. She went into teaching full of heart, passion, purpose, but no one warned her just how overwhelming it could be. Every day started early, ended late, and even spilled into her weekends. She'd write lesson plans late into the night, forget where she'd saved documents, missed emails from parents, lost track of time, and sometimes whole afternoons. She wasn't lazy. Maya wasn't careless. She was trying, but every day felt like treading water. And slowly, the thing that she once loved started to feel like a burden. The moment everything cracked came during a parent-teacher conference. She forgot a meeting. And this wasn't just any meeting. It was a one-on-one with a parent of a struggling student. The mother showed up. Maya wasn't there. And the principal found out. She didn't sleep that night. She sat on her couch staring at blank walls, thinking, I must not be cut out for this. Maybe I'm not a real teacher after all. Maybe I just need to walk away. Maya was exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. She felt like a failure, a fraud. And yet, a small part of her wasn't ready to give up just yet. So, the next morning, Maya Googled how to stay focused as a teacher. It led her down a rabbit hole, not of tricks or hacks, but something unexpected: mindfulness. At first, Maya rolled her eyes. How is breathing going to help me teach a classroom full of 30 children? But you know what? She tried it anyway. 5 minutes in the morning, eyes closed, just her breath. Then she journaled one sentence. What do I want to feel today? And you know what? That week, something shifted for Maya. She didn't fix everything, but she noticed more. She slowed down. She paused before reacting. She wrote her lesson plans the night before instead of scrambling the morning of. And then, through all of this, she built structure. Maya created a simple daily system: morning mindfulness before school. It was sort of a visual planner with color-coded tasks. Very cool. Timers to track time blocks. And a non-negotiable reset at 4 p.m. No more working past dinner time. Maya gave herself permission to not be perfect, but to be present. And you know what the result of all that was? Her classroom began to transform. Her students were calmer because Maya was. Maya remembered the parent meetings. She taught with heart and structure. And soon, other teachers noticed. Why do you seem so calm? How are you getting everything done? Many questions. What changed, Maya? And you know what? She started sharing all this with the other teachers. Now, today, Maya, she mentors new teachers. She runs a small mindfulness group at her school. She helps educators create routines that protect their peace. And most importantly, she reminds them they are human before they're teachers. So, not everything's perfect. Maya still has chaotic days, but now she will meet them with clarity, breath, and grace. Maya never quit. Maya adapted. She didn't break. She bent. And then she built something stronger. What wonderful story. What a wonderful 3 stories this is. I really, really am grateful that you stayed here to join me today to listen to these 3 stories. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, doubting yourself, listen, just take a breath. You don't have to do everything. You just have to start with one small thing, like Maya did, like Josh did. If you're on a journey to grow, heal, or rise, hit that subscribe button because I will be here to walk that path with you. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I do look forward to seeing you again.